Hey guys, greetings and salutations. This is James. Please like and subscribe. I want to get straight into this because I thought it was a very good topic to kind of touch on. And usually for a lot of my videos, I try to have notes on the side to kind of go through. But I think this is one of those topics where I don't really think it's really needed to go into notes. I really just want to talk about the preferences men have when it comes to our attraction towards women, Now, obviously, not every guy is going to have the same preferences, but I just want to kind of touch on that specifically. I was talking to one of my female friends more recently, and I think she was talking about the fact that there are some ladies that are obviously bigger, obese or big or whatever you want to say, fat. There's different references, different terminology. I can't keep up with everything, but there are ladies that are obviously bigger that embrace being big. They don't really see it as an issue. They don't see it as a health concern. And my message to her is that of course I think that it's important for all of us to try to be fit to some extent. We have this one body that God has given us, but we have a responsibility to also be attractive. If we are planning on actually getting married or even remaining married. And I hate to say this, but there are some men and women that are very sensitive to that. They can really appreciate you for who you are, but they want to actually wake up to somebody that they're attracted to every morning, And of course, we're not going to be, picture perfect. And yes, we all are going to age and get older, but just like women, we men have preferences. Even I have preferences. So I'll give you, just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about is, like for me, I prefer a lady that is smaller than me. I'm like 200 pounds plus. Like I don't want a woman that is my size. I'm just not interested in that. That does not appeal to me at all, not even a little bit. And I want to be able to, be the bigger person in the relationship, like literally, physically, And I think that sometimes, we live in this modern time where plus size ladies are being accepted as models, now and stuff like that. And I understand that just because there are certain organizations and there are certain companies that are, putting more plus size women on TV shows, giving them larger roles or modeling and stuff like that. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's the preferences for men, And I think that that's something that we're all kind of not really paying attention to is men have preferences, One of the things that I really keep up with is dating apps and a lot of their updates and news and things like that. And I learned actually that one of the most popular ladies that, and I'm going to say in the people group, a culture that attracts the most men is not, white women, black women, it's not Persian women, it's actually Asian women. Asian women scores the highest when it comes to dating apps and when it comes to just men, marrying them, and there are 3 different dating apps, popular dating apps that has reported that consistently on their apps. There's Plenty of Fish, there's Tinder, and I think it's OkCupid. So all 3 of those are like the titans of the dating app world, and all of them repeatedly bring up the fact that every man of every culture goes after Asian women consistently. There's like different differences when it comes to who pursues the white woman or who pursues the black woman or who pursues maybe a Persian woman. There's differences and there's different changes and people respond to different cultures, but literally every people group primarily believes that the Asian woman is more attractive, and it just shows from the data, and I would challenge you guys to actually check that out and look into that, because I've been checking this for years, and those 3 apps always bring up the same information. Now I do think that there's a reason why, and I actually want to unpack that a little bit, and I'm not going to try to make this video too long because I think I don't want to sound like I'm putting down women or anything like that. I love women. I'm a Christian man. I love people. I love human beings are made in the image of God, so I'm not against women. But I just want to just share some information that may help. I think one of the reasons why, and this is just my take on it, why I believe that Asian women is basically dominating when it comes to being preferred as like actual wives is, first off, they are smaller. There are different men that have preferences when it comes to maybe they want a bigger woman or a plus size woman. I have people in my family that are like that. But most guys that I meet want a woman that's smaller. That's just an understanding. And for a lot of us, we consider that feminine. You know, we want someone smaller, you know, and there's a lot of different social media personalities that, you know, we all, that are men, that are constantly trying to share that with the culture and let people know that. And there's a lot of ladies that seem to disregard what they're saying. They're not listening, and often these ladies are the unmarried, and they're the women that are not actually being groomed to be a man's wife. You know, they're very opinionated, but they're missing the fact that their philosophies or whatever it is I guess they're putting their faith in, it's not actually working for them. You know, so it's just something that I really want to just put out there, that it's really important just to understand that there are most of us, not all of us, but most of us, we want a woman that's smaller than us, you know. And, you know, Asian women, they obviously are very petite, they're very small, most of them, often, you know, not everyone, but, you know, it's just something that naturally is very attractive to a lot of us, you know. And again, I like the idea of being the bigger person in the relationship physically. You know, if I walk into a room and I'm 200 plus pounds, or let's say I'm working out even more or whatever, I want to be the bigger person. I don't want somebody that's my size, that's supposed to be my partner, the same size as me or more, you know. I don't even want them to be in competition with my weight size, you know. So it's really important just to keep that in mind. So, of course, I'm not speaking for every guy, but a lot of us guys, that's our preference. It doesn't matter the culture. We all want somebody that's smaller than us, period. The other thing is, Asian women have the stereotype of being very, I'm going to say submissive, but I'm not talking about submissive in a, you know, she's being enslaved kind of way. But I'm talking about not being argumentative, not being combative, not being somebody that's going to put down her man's thoughts if he makes a mistake, or, you know. And that's something that is very important for us guys, is we don't want to feel disrespected. Nobody wants to feel disrespected, you know. And for us men, that's a deal breaker for most of us, or at least those of us that know our value. You know, we will not stick around and will not entertain a relationship with somebody that's going to disrespect us. Not even from other men, but often other men at least have the understanding that mutually, hey, let's at least have respect. Even if we don't like each other, at least there's a respect factor. But there are ladies that they're out of tune with that we men, we take that very seriously. And so the idea of, you know, even for me, flying to the Philippines or flying to, you know, another, you know, I don't know, Asian country, or, you know, and connect with some, you know, it is appealing to me. It is appealing, you know. And not only that country, but it might be another country where, you know, let's say Africa, you know, there are women that understand, like, there's a respect for men, you know. It's something that I can relate to. It's like, I find that attractive. Maybe it's a Nigerian woman, you know, like there's this understanding, like, hey, this is my man. I want to look nice for him. I want to look nice for him. So if that means to, you know, wear certain things, I want to do that for my man. I want to please him, you know. And so for us guys, you know, and I'm not talking about men that are womanizers, that are abusers. I'm not talking about them, okay? I know a lot in these videos, people tend to want to bunch all the guys together. I'm not talking about those womanizers. I'm talking about men that are willing to sacrifice and do whatever it is they need to do to make sure that our wives have everything they need, because they're constantly pouring their life into our relationship. So we're going to support them, and we're going to pour our lives into the relationship as well, you know. So it's just really important to keep that in mind, that men do not want to wake up to somebody that they're going to have to fight with in the home, you know, just like women don't want to have to deal with that, you know. I feel like the world is already crazy as it is. So, you know, it's just something that we need to just keep in mind, you know. Like, guys have preferences, you know. Some guys like tall women, some guys like short women, some guys like petite women. And yes, there are guys that like big women. Like I said, I grew up with one of the guys. I know that, yeah, he prefers women that are bigger than him, you know, and which is fine. That's his preference, you know. Some guys like women that are lighter complexion. Others, they like women from a completely different culture, and that's okay. And I think that it's a problem when there are people, and I'm going to say some women, when there's people that try to criticize men and say, oh, well, why you don't want a big woman, or why you don't want a woman of this size, or what's wrong with a woman of your own culture, you know. It's like, hey, that's none of your business. That's none of your business. Every man has a right to his own preferences. He can have whomever he wants, as long as that woman is receptive to him, and she don't even have to speak his same language, okay? If he's attracted to her and they're attracted to each other, that's fine, okay? But please don't feel like you have some license to put somebody down or criticize them, you know, just because they don't fit into the narrative or whatever you think that they need, okay? Every man is different. We have our preferences. I want a woman who loves God. I want a woman who's smaller than me. I want somebody that's not going to be argumentative. I want somebody that's not going to have a lot of male friends. It's okay to have preferences, okay? And that's my preference. All right, peace, guys. Please like and subscribe. All right, let's get it in. All right, bye.